Okay, now we're starting for real, guys. We got Shrek is Love taking on ChatroulleteboyZ, and the winners bracket semifinals. So, both of these teams progressing well so far. They have won their round of 16 and round of 8 matchups. For those who are unaware, in the round of 16, CZ took on Hussars, beat them 2-0. That was kind of a ridiculous series. And they took on Catman Champions in the round of 8, which is a team that has definitely improved a lot and has rechristened themselves Don't Care, which is actually a team name that's from the past a little bit. That's been around for a little while. Anyway, CZ took them out 2-0, and in the other half of the bracket, Shrek is Love took out Team Zenzig, which was a slightly more contested series than one might think, considering that was a Silver Division team. And then in the winners bracket, or in the round of 8, they took out the Solaire Club. So that's how these teams got here. And now we have got the bands into the first pick. Dr. Repulsor and Swiftblade getting taken out by Clock, Parasite, and Cthulhufoot being removed by Archie Tiger. So first pick, Ophelia.
Definitely the Dr. band sticks out a bit. You don't usually see that as the first band, but I'm guessing one of these players has it as a favorite. Then
first pick
on the Hellborn side.
Yeah, I think Pingu likes to play Doctor a lot, and I believe he's their current carry player. Kurt Spencer's playing Suicide, Drogon's playing mid, Archie Tiger's playing jungle, and Adra's playing hard support. So
is Leroy, is that Pingu? Or?
That's Pingu, yeah.
Okay.
This guy, Pingu, is just... He's a guy, man. He's an interesting dude. Anyway,
okay.
So I can start with Magnus and Tempest. Hellborn going to follow up with Rhapsody and Kraken. So both sides off to a strong start, picking up just generally powerful heroes. I am shocked that Archie Tiger has not picked Ophelia yet. It's amazing to me. What is
I wonder why. He's pretty good against Tempest as well with the Skeleton Kings. He interrupted me through Shrunk. So back in the day, you'd usually see him as a counterpick to Tempest specifically. So it's kind of weird that they don't pick him, I think. But maybe they value Kraken a lot, so they want.
Yeah, and I don't think
it's like they're not gonna pick Tempest and Ophelia, so there's no reason to pick it. So.
Yeah. So once they pick the Rhapsody, after they pick the Tempest, they're like, screw it, we can wait till Ophelia for our third pick, and rather have Kraken anyway, which would fit very well in the Legion lineup also. Magnus, Kraken, Tempest would be some pretty dangerous stuff. Instead, they're going to pick up the Keeper, which is also
some this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a game where we see tactics against tactics. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with it. The Keeper Tempest lineup can be really difficult to, like, if you don't have the strategy.
Boy, what a surprise! They picked an Ophelia.
Yeah.
Archie.
That was a good call.
Get a little bit more predictable, man. Come on. That's the one thing that we all know that you're going to do. So Archie Tiger going to be playing the Ophelia, and Adra going to be playing the Rhapsody, which is interesting for him. Back when in CIC, when he was on Reason Gaming, and even the first cycle or two of HoN Tour, I think he was like 70 to 80% Glacius and Engineer. Just those two heroes were all he ever played. And since then, he's actually branched out a fair bit. He's played some Empath, he's played some Rhapsody, I think he's played some Torturer as well, perhaps
it looks on this team looks like this team is more of a passive team where Glacius and Engineer would not fit as well. So maybe it's the direction of his new team more than his personal preference.
Right. I think that it might have been in the previous iterations, or as him as a player. I don't know if it was Amboy drafting that was like, always pick these heroes, or if it was him like, these are my best heroes, just pick them as much as you possibly can. But it was very strange because support's a role that doesn't have that much hero diversity, but it's got a little bit more than that, and Engineer wasn't really like a super high tier pick even back then, so I thought it was odd. Anyway, second banning stage, Wretched Hag, Soul Stealer, and Dark Lady, Silhouette Gemini, and Puppet Master getting taken out by the Hellborn side. So both teams really focusing that hard carry role and really banning out 6 heroes that are short laners. So
I think the Dark Lady ban is very questionable from the Legion team. He's not good against either Tempest Keeper. Like, both those heroes are very good against Dark Lady.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting. And he's also, like, he hasn't gotten a good early mid-game presence. And that's where their lineup is going to push. So it's kind of a weird ban to me.
It's definitely true. And you look at Soul Stealer, you know, with the Demon Hands, that would definitely provide some anti-push.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense,
Right.
because the ultimate and everything is actually pretty good
Right.
against this team.
And similar thing with even Hag, this is Sonar Scream, and just being annoying to lock down. On the other hand, Hag doesn't do all that well against Tempest Keeper because she is mobile reliant in order to survive, so when she doesn't have something like that, or when she gets a bunch of peers in the other team that are going, hey, you can't move, that's a problem. Anyway, Glacius, simply their support. And we'll see what they go for on the Hellborn side. They're looking for a short lane hero and probably either a mid or a suicide. I would hope it's a suicide.
I hope they'll pick something with a bit of counter push.
Yeah.
Or like an off pusher, like Silhouette. Oh, he's banned, but something that can push lanes while the other team's pushing would be pretty nice. Someone with a strong push presence. I guess a Mage Bane ruined this. He's gonna get so owned if they go for early team fights. That's a questionable pick.
Yep. I'm really weirded out by that pick. Strong hero, but I don't know.
I mean, he has two routes to go. Either he gets like a 10-minute rune axe and just counter push like hell when the other team is pushing, or else he goes for like this tanky early game fighting build. Let's see what he does. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, there's 60 seconds of extra time left for the guys on Ogre. And they're looking for a hero for Nox, presumably. As it's more likely he'll be playing Magnus or Keeper.
Bit of a late game presence here, I think they're going to pick.
Right. Ideally something with some AoE potential. Moon Queen would fit well.
Moon Queen came to mind when I thought about it.
Yeah. I like that a lot. This is a very AoE-centric team. When they start to group up and push, it's going to be very difficult to do that against them. And they've got pretty serious tower killing ability, so...
Yeah, and their lineup is strong the whole game through, like from the start to the end. So it's a good lineup for sure.
I'm kind of just looking for flaws here, but I can't really find too many.
Oh, it's a really like, what would you call it? Stabile? Is that what you say? Stable team.
Tundra. And Tundra.
Tundra. I guess he has some counter push, actually.
Yeah. And he'll be able to spot out ganks, but it's not a gank team, so...
No.
It's like, he can spot the rotations, but they're going to be in the lane, like, as 5 pushing things down. It's like, the Thunderbird can go, hey, look, they're there. And then the rest of the team's like, we know that, thank you very much.
I'll say this. If Hellborn makes one mistake early game, they're going to lose. If they get behind in levels and experience, they're not going to do anything to Legion's heroes. They won't have the damage. Look at their heroes, they have no damage, basically.
I mean, Tundra doesn't hit very hard. Kraken's got some damage. Ophelia doesn't hit all that hard. Rhapsody's annoying, especially in the early game, but mostly defensive. It's going to be a lot on this Mage Bane, and I don't know if they have the lockdown to really do all that much.
This is going to be interesting, I say. Glacius is having some problem.
Yeah, like I'm going, okay, there we go. I'm loaded in.
Let's sync instantly.
Okay, let me switch my
overlay.
And I'm at 8, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42,
okay.
43.
Right. Fixed.
It's interesting, Cluck apparently has a wooden computer. I thought there was a problem with because I had just had to competize, so I figured, maybe there's an error with the draft or whatever, but no, kept going. Anyway.
Well, maybe tabbed out. Maybe tabbed out or something.
That's possible.
So...
the one disadvantage Legion has is that they're predictable, I guess. Other than that...
Yeah. That's true. Mage Bane is pretty good against the Suicide Keeper. Yeah, the mana burn is does a lot to him. He can't really use his spells for anything. He's always going to be
Right.
So that's good for them.
And I really hope that Rhapsody doesn't stay top, because she's not needed there. She's much more valuable in the middle lane, but then again, Tundra doesn't really want anybody leeching experience, so...
Yeah, I think it's good if he stays top to stack and put. I think that works.
That's fair.
And also just stack the forest in general. Better creeps through field and such.
Right. And then obviously when Mage Bane gets his cleave, he'll be fine. Now, bottom lane, surprisingly, could be a little bit iffy for Moon Queen. She's going to be solo down here against a Kraken, who's a very strong laner in his own right, and
Well, Glacius is down here, so.
Oh, that's true. So it's going to be a 1v1 mid. I like that rotation a lot, actually.
Well, in this case, if I were Legion, I'd say Glacius stick around bottom till Moon Queen's level 3, and then he goes mid to sit against this Tundra and kills on him, because I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Because, I mean, Kraken with the strong laning presence can potentially be more of a nuisance
he
than
pulled the
what they
archer,
need.
the Glacius.
Oh,
this is really bad.
Yeah, they're going to lose lane control here as a result.
Oh, he even goes.
Clock.
Oh, no.
Clock, no. Not off to a great start.
Sucks.
Oh well. Moon Queen going to lose a creep. They're also going to lose lane control. I can admit I've had that happen to me. Just like,
me too. It happens to everyone. Can't really blame him.
How is the aggro that ridiculous? Why is it following me? It's insane.
Now, it seems like when you actually want them to stop following you, they'll keep following you forever. But when you don't want them to follow you, they just stop. When you want them to follow you, they just stop. So yeah. Who do you think will win this mid lane, by the way? I think
Magnus.
Well, you think so?
Yeah, he's already taken some damage, but Tundra's now out of mana. I don't think Tundra can kill him. There's really no chance at all for Tundra to kill this Magnus. Careful about your courier there, buddy. Anyway, Volcanic Touch is going to force Tundra out of lane.
That's true, but if Tundra plays smart, Volcanic Touch is a non-factor. Like you see here, he moves away. And I think the Cold Shoulder actually does a lot for manning up and such with the attack speed and the extra attack and stuff. So I like Tundra this. Okay.
He did get an early bottle, so...
Oh, he's gonna get ganked.
Yeah, and now he's gonna be in trouble actually. Well, Glacius having up. There's the freeze, and Magnus apparently didn't want to continue to throw in auto attacks, which is interesting because that would have been Bloodlust.
And no animation cancelling on Glacius either. He just stood there. I think he should have just attacked and moved forward at the same time. That was pretty weird.
Yeah. So we talked about how Hellborn really can't make too many mistakes in the early game, but Legion side with a couple of errors, I would say.
Yeah, sure.
Screwing up the Archer in the bottom lane and then probably losing the Bloodlust kill to Tundra in the mid, which would have been pretty huge. I mean, Tundra went early bottle. He doesn't have that many stats, and he doesn't have very much regen either. So he's going to be very reliant on these runes to keep himself in lane. And he also doesn't have a hatchet, for that matter.
And also, under level Tundra, it's, he deals so little damage. Like it's only a walking stun, basically, if he's under level.
Pretty much.
It's good to keep. It's good to keep him down.
And that will continue to happen. Magnus. Okay, they do upgrade the courier. There goes the Thunder Blast. Looking for the body blocks. Will Glacius be able to get in here? Nope. As we have the continuous problem with Glacius for some reason having 290 base movement speed. Probably cost him another kill.
Yeah.
And either way, it is a good rotation, and they're doing pretty much exactly what we figured that they should do, which is get Moon Queen a pretty nice early lead. Nox is only at 260 GPM, and Kraken's at 240, so it's not like he's doing all that well, but he's definitely not going to get forced out of lane by this Kraken. And now Glacius has rotated middle, and is going to be assisting Magnus in his farm.
I think the low GPM on Moon Queen is because of unluck with creep kills more than actually Kraken being a presence. So.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely probably the case. It's more like, wow, Moon Queen's not even actually farming all that well.
No.
I was gonna go man mode, yeah, and this Kraken could be in some trouble. We'll have to charge away, and in fact we'll just take the mana pot or health pot. Now Nox is also kind of low and needs to be careful. I'll take a health pot of his own, but is currently out of
mana. Keeper is using a potion, but before that he was just completely and he has been for a while.
Not a huge surprise.
This is how it's like.
And now he's dead.
He's for sure dead.
Yeah. I could use a dust anyway. Wasn't really necessary because he's completely out of mana, but yeah, I'm trying to give the last auto attack to Kirk Svensson there, and they will get the kill. Speaking of which,
maybe he was trying to scout. Maybe he was trying to scout if there were some teammates that he shrouded or something.
Yeah, I guess so. Only one would be Glacius, though, and Glacius is mid, so... Anyway, speaking of Glacius being mid, there's an Invis rune on him. And will they be able to get another kill? Looks like it. Last auto attack from Magmus. He's got a Lava Surge up in a second, though, so he's... Yeah, this is going to be down. And looks like the courier will be just fine, get shielded, but the tower is taking the creep. Anyway...
The Hellborn team is actually initiating the push, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And down here, Kraken is hiding and has found a pretty fantastic hiding spot. As Moon Queen continues to look for him, and Nox is like, he must be there, but no, he's not. We're going to see him? Yep, there he is. We got him. And Kraken's still level 5, which means that he's not going to be able to do anything about this. He's going to be in trouble, and he's dead. So, Nox picking up the kill. As Bunny General rotates over and helps him out. So, they do take the top tower in Hellborn, sorry.
Yeah, the Kraken is still doing very well, though. 260 GPM is very good. So, props to him.
No doubt. And, again, Nox, 300 gold per minute, even after that kill, so... Not having the greatest time. Now, that's not that big a deal, I don't think, because once the towers start falling, his GPM is going to skyrocket, and shutting down a Moon Queen early is usually the way to deal with her, which this could be considered that. The problem is, I don't think it's going to continue. It's just, when they start pushing, it's going to be like, well, I'm 450 gold per minute now, because we just took 6 towers in 10 minutes.
Exactly, so... Yeah. Let's just wait for them to push. I hope it happens soon, because if Hellborn takes the lead this game, then it's going to be hard for the Legion to make use of their strategy.
And I do feel like they should be looking to start now. I mean, Keeper of the Forest is level 6. He's currently got level 3 Tree Dogs, and Tempest similar. Level 6, level 3 Elementals, and I would expect that once those heroes hit level 7 that we will see a group up and push from both sides.
And now that they'll see that he makes Rune Axe and Mage Bane, he's getting his Mana Tube delivered, they should definitely go push, because that means he's going to be useless for another 10 minutes at least.
Right.
So this is their cue. Let's hope to go all out push now.
He's going to be in some trouble. He gets dusted out, but he's still pretty damn tanky. We're going to see a teleport rotation coming in anyway. It looks like he will be just fine. Teleport actually is going to be cancelled. He's still dusted, but they realize pretty quickly. They just know the damage output to kill him. So, well, here comes the push. Bottom lane. This will be a dead tower. Nothing they can do about that. Type is actually converting the minions into the Archer.
There are only 3 here, and Kraken has an ultimate, so they could actually go for an initiation. But that's obviously...
At this point, I don't think it's going to happen. Moonbeam's there.
Turn into work.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
So, they even up the towers. And mid lane Keeper of the Forest is there, presumably to assist the push in mid. Magmus is also hanging out. And Glacius is bottom for some reason. We'll drop a lane word. I think we're actually going to pull.
You're going to catch Magmus here?
Yep.
Oh, he's going to die. Nice. Well played by Archie Tiger. Nice micro.
And Hellborn are like, well, you can push and so can we. So he's level 6. This is going to take down a mid tower, which is already pretty low. So that should be a counter kill on a tower. Legion are going to pop the glyph and defend. Maybe not.
Yeah. Let's hope they go for a mid push. I think they need to take the mid tower.
I agree.
On the Legion team. So.
Glacial Blast. No. I don't know why you wouldn't stun Tundra there, but
they're keeping in.
Yeah, so here it's going to be a pretty easy push. They're going to leave Nox bot and let him free farm, which is probably a good decision. There's no reason to involve him really. He doesn't need to be there, especially when they're just tier 1 towers.
So, something good to point out here is that nobody on the Legion team even has a Ring of the Teacher, which I think is detrimental to their strategy. So I think Moon Queen should have gotten that. And also it's good for like soul pushing like she's doing now. So Ring of the Teacher should be a pickup he should get even now.
It seems like Ring of Sorcery is the choice for Keeper of the Forest. He's got an Amulet of Exile, but they've already got one. That doesn't necessarily mean the second one is bad, but without a Ring of the Teacher and with Plated Greaves on him instead of having the Amulet of Exile, or he'd at least be closer, I feel like that'd be a better decision.
It doesn't seem like they're gonna go all out push like we thought, because they grouped up for mid, but they're not doing it anymore. So.
Well, I'm confused.
Wow.
I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Magebane is basically not a hero at the moment, so it's gonna be 4 versus 5 anyway. And they have Tempest and Keeper ultimate. Like, they should push. Oh my god.
And Moon Queen ultimate and Magmus ultimate and Glacius don't have Glacius ultimate, but they have the idea of Glacius ultimate. Not actually there yet.
They have enough, to say the least.
I mean, the Hellborn just cannot take team fights right now. So if they group up and push as 5, or even as 4, without Moon Queen, they're going to take uncontested towers.
I think Moon Queen can stay back and defend potential like counter pushes and stuff, or push a lane of her own.
Right.
So they might not even need her. So yeah, this is. I think this is a bad call by the Legion team not to do anything.
And middle lane actually going to jump on top of Tundra, and he's going to be in some trouble. He gets the eruption off, and the illusion is really not going to help very much.
Oh, they must push.
Yes. Alright, so they've used the eruption, they've got to pick on a Tundra, and again, Magebane not going to be helpful, so yeah, here comes mid-tier 1 tower. That's going to die real quick.
Hopefully they get the second one as well.
Yeah. And there, I wouldn't see any reason why they would stop. Flip of fortification used, so they're definitely going to have this. Tier 2 top actually is getting pushed out by Ophelia, Rhapsody, and Magebane, so it's going to be some effective counter, and we'll see a teleport coming in, actually 2 of them. Magmus. This is real bad. Now, Magmus has used his Lava Surge. He's going to get locked down pretty effectively, actually, and he's going to die. Rhapsody in the background is not going to save too much damage, as they weren't really getting all that aggressive, but Magebane is here against Moon Queen. Moon Queen is going to be able to back him off a little bit, prevent him from killing Glacius, but again, a very bad decision.
That was, he was a bit too eager there on the Magmus. He should not have stunned when he couldn't get anyone, of course.
I don't know why they were doing that at all.
Yeah, it's like the two most important heroes for team fights are Keeper and Tempest, and they weren't there, so
right.
It's like they expect to be strong or something.
And they got 0 damage in tier 2 mid, so they lost a tier 2 top, and they tried to defend it for basically no reason. And
very questionable indeed.
I mean, like, as far as map control goes, taking towers is not just about gold, it's also about being able to teleport to places. But that top tier 2 tower is like nothing. It doesn't really do anything in terms of I can be more mobile now, I can port bot or port top. Anyway, Moon Queen gonna be in real trouble, getting a couple of ultimates dropped on her face. She's not gonna survive that. And 3 ports actually coming in as counters, so they will get the counter kill on a Kraken. And he's in some pretty serious trouble here. Pretty damn tanky, but it's not going to matter. I'm going to try to TP on out, but they should have enough damage. Alright.
Oh my god. And they get the mid tower.
Alright.
That was a good good call from Kraken, obviously. He knew they used all their stunts, and he just instantly ported. That was a good call.
Yeah.
It makes the Legion look stupid, though, which is
unfortunate. It really does. I mean, you got 3 ways to cancel a TP, and you used all of them before he TP'd.
This is just a disaster. The Hellborn team actually, they're playing it so much better than the Legion team.
And, well, Magebane's got Cleave. They got 4 towers down compared to 2 against the Keeper Tempest lineup.
And now they have the map control as well with the ganking Kraken with the PK. So they have everything going for them. Except for team fights, which Legion team doesn't know how to provoke.
Right. And the thing is, like, they still got the initiation with the Magmus. They got excellent follow-up with Keeper and Tempest on top of that. And they have counter initiation. They can take 5v5 engagements, and they continue to not do so. Magebane in the top lane going to be in some trouble. Will get destroyed. Tries to blink repeatedly, but yeah, it was pretty damn close. Eventually, the lockdown was a little bit too good, though. And that's good.
He almost got his blink off, though. He was so tough.
Yeah, well, small positives for Ogre, I guess. They're going to slow this Magebane down a little bit, but now they need to push. And they do have 2 ultimates down, but
I still think it's maybe it's a bit too risky actually pushing now without Keeper ultimate. Keeper ultimate is so important to keep down all their melee heroes on the Hellborn in the team fight. So I think they should wait 1 minute for that.
That's fair. Triple stacked ancients are there as well, so presumably Mage Bane gotta head on over and clean those up. And yeah,
oh, they blocked the ancients here. I was gonna fight it though.
Oh, on the Legion side? Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, there goes Mage Bane killing all sorts of Predecessors. And his GPM's gonna start to really skyrocket. 470 already, he should be well over 500 by the time he kills these. Getting some help from Tundra.
It's getting an Abyssal Skull, which is okay, I guess. Lifesteal is good.
I like it, actually, a fair bit.
I'd like to see more health, but I guess it's okay.
We saw yesterday, or at least I did, we had TCP versus KKKK, which is the new, not excellent team. They're called Nice now, but it's Misera and Fine and Panny.
Okay.
And they had a similar situation, actually, where they had Tempest and Keeper up against Count Crapula, who used to play carry for Ogre, weirdly enough. Anyway, bottom lane, looks like they're going to jump on top of this Kraken. And will they have enough lockdown to kill him? Looks like they will. Release the Kraken, going to get popped, but the Eruption Skeleton actually not going to be cancelled. It finally is by the Glacial Blast. Here comes the Eruption. Going to be on top of him, Tempest Ultimate. That's 2 real easy kills. Mage Bane now going to be able to blink away, so he will be fine. And that should be the end of that engagement. Magma's still not a portal key and doesn't really want to chase anyway. So, again, they use a couple of valuable ultimates, but they get a couple of valuable ultimates out of the Hellborn and 2 kills.
Yeah. They should keep trying to use those ultimates on cooldown and get something out of them.
Right.
They're so strong, so keep doing that.
So, anyway, they had some issues with execution. So it was basically Count Crapula on this War Beast who popped the Shrunken Head, and they didn't save their second Keeper route until after he had popped the Shrunken Head. So he'd pop his Shrunken Head and get out of the Keeper route, and then just start auto-attacking everything to death. And pretty much the entire reason he would live is because of the Abyssal Skull, because if it wasn't for the lifesteal, he would die super, super fast. So I think, actually, it's a Whispering Helm.
Oh, it's a Whispering Helm.
Interesting.
I like that more.
Yeah, me too.
Because Symbol is also a good item in the late game, especially versus a team with limited damage.
Right.
Like the Legion.
And he can also stack his own Ancients, of course, the little extra utility that goes into that Cleaver.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he didn't use it there though. He could have taken the Minotaur, but he chose not to.
But yeah, so I would imagine that once Mage Bane's got the Shrunken Head and presumably a Geometer's Bane, he's going to be more or less impossible to kill, even with the lock on the Legion team, just because he's going to lifesteal all the health back.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I definitely feel Geo and Shrunken are the two go items here for sure. Like you said.
Gotta deal with that Keeper.
Yeah.
So I would imagine Shrunken Head is next on his list, and after that we'll be seeing Geometer's Bane. Meantime, Hellborn getting a little bit aggressive, as they did kill Kongor. Actually just left. No, they didn't leave the token. I was gonna say there's an item there, but nope, it's on Mage Bane. Because duh.
They're pushing top now with only 2 heroes. And the rest of the heroes are just running around the map. No, actually, Magnus is here now too, but I feel like they should move together more, I think.
If it's only 2 heroes, these are the right 2 heroes.
That's true.
Anyway, Glyph's gonna go off, but it's still gonna be a dead tower in the top lane. They are gonna trade it for a tower in the bottom lane though, because Ophelia and Kraken are pushing down here. Middle, meanwhile, Tundra looking for something on Moon Queen, as he's running around invisible.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
And towers dying all over the place. Looks like Legion are going to continue the push, and Hellborn sort of backing off of theirs. Mage Bane is doing some damage, but this is going to be a better situation for Legion. And Magnus, don't do that. Oh, sorry. Middle. Nox. Real dead. Portal Key Kraken plus Invis Tempest, or Tundra. This frustrates me to no end, but it's nice that Magnus is killing the creep wave, but it means the elementals don't split, so...
Oh, you meant that he stunned in and used the volcanic touch?
Yeah, to kill the creep wave, which is good, because it also gets the regular lane creeps on the lane. Anyway, Cluck going to be in some trouble here. Getting chased down by Tundra, but now he's out of mana, so actually I think Cluck is going to be just fine. Tipped off to the side, Kraken's coming in with a portal key. Yep, is going to find him. There's the Torrent. Looking for 1 more, or 2 more auto attacks. Yep, Splash going to finish him off, so... Clock, unfortunately, getting cut off there.
This game is really slipping through their hands.
Yep.
They can't seem to group up and just take a fight with their ultimate. So Mage, maybe when he gets his shrunken, he's just gonna own them.
Yeah, it's frustrating because you see this every so often. A team that picks up a push lineup and then doesn't push. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you think you're supposed to do? I don't understand. And then they lose, and then it's like, well, no surprise. It's like picking a gank lineup and then not ganking. If you're not gonna do what
To be
the
fair,
lineup does.
the lineup is pretty hard to play though, to be fair. You kind of need to really get the... Like, you need a good enough strategy, like, in a leader to really put it through, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
There's so many choices in the lineup. When to push, when to defend, and like when to wait and stuff like that. It's kind of hard. But this, I say this team did it very badly, so...
I don't want to fully disagree with you because it's not like this is just, you know, slam your face against the keyboard and roll around easy type lineup to play, but as far as lineups go, I think this is one of the easier strategies to execute. It's basically just like hit level 7, get all your minions up, start taking a bunch of towers. If they start to oppose you, well, you have better ults, so they can't. And Magebane went for Rune Cleaver, so he can't fight.
Yeah.
What are they going to do if you start pushing tier 2 towers? At 11 minutes in, not now, obviously, but then.
Yeah, they had... I know two times where they could have pushed the second tier tower, and they didn't, so... Not sure why they stopped. I can't really think of a reason. They were just too afraid, I think, of the Hellborn team. They didn't realize their strength.
Of what though? What are they afraid of? Kraken got good farm.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. But where's the damage?
But even before that, before Kraken got good farm and before he got his peak.
I mean, even in lane for a suicide, Kraken got pretty solid farm. Like, you don't typically see two suicides at 260, 270, 280 gold per minute.
Oh, that's true. But still, he didn't have PK or any item.
Right.
He was saving for PK, so
right.
You couldn't really be afraid of him, I guess.
Right. And Magebane had Cleave, so who cares? They didn't even need Nox. Like, they could just leave him in a lane somewhere. It's like, alright, you go farm. The 4 of us can push. Because Magebane's not going to do anything, so essentially this is a 4v4 already, even without you. And then our ults are far better than the Hellborns, which means that even in a 4v4 engagement, we have a pretty significant advantage.
Well, I agree with you when you say that this lineup is easy to play, but it's only easy to play, I think, when you're in a team fight. It's obviously easy to play because your ultimates are one-click and you win. But I don't know. I don't think it's that easy to play.
Well, nothing's easy to execute, I think, at this level. Like, you're not gonna just be able to do whatever you want and get away with all the mistakes with making mistakes all the time because people will punish you. I mean, these teams are good enough to do that. I'm just thinking, like, as far as lineups in general go. Anyway, top lane they do catch Drogon on the Tundra, but they're also gonna get Tempest, so managed to catch that at least. So, solid trade.
Yeah.
As far as competitive lineups go, I feel like this is one of the easier ones to execute. Like, the problem with gank lineups is often, if you don't get enough kills early game, it can be really, really hard to transition to the late game. So you have to, your rotations in the laning phase have to be fantastic. Your mid game has to be really, really powerful. Otherwise, you won't snowball hard enough and win. If you're in a 4 protect 1 strategy, you gotta protect 1, and that hero has to get really good farm. So if they get shut down in the laning phase, you can often lose right off the bat. Or if their farm is bad for whatever reason, if you don't control your jungle properly, like wards can be a problem, etc. You know, you can run into issues there. As far as just like overall arching strategies go, I feel like all-in push is one of the easier ones to execute. You don't even have to win your laning phase.
Well, okay, I will agree with you. I probably don't think so just because it's my comfort zone. That's probably why I don't think so, but I think you're right, though. You make a good point.
That's a good strategy. Just agree with me, because I'll keep yelling at you until you do.
No, but I think you're right. It's not my comfort zone to go push.
I mean, I definitely have issues with it too. I'm not saying I don't want to call them out by any means because Ogre is a good team and like they deserve to do well by all means. But it feels like they've had opportunities this game and have not been able to capitalize.
The thing is, I see what they're doing. I played, of course, I've played this game competitively for a while.
Yep.
And so many times when you play this lineup, it's like, okay, let's go push. And when you're all 5 together, they're already pushing 2 towers of yours, like counter pushing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I always felt like this was hard. It's probably because I'm not good with it. But I feel like that's kind of the way they're getting played.
Yeah. I mean, as much as we've sort of derided the Legion team, you know, I give plenty of credit to Hellborn as well because they have done exactly that. They've been like, look, if they're going to group up and push, we're going to group up and counter push. And it's forced rotations from Legion. I mean, like that middle engagement where they took the tier 2 in the top lane, they could have had a tier 2 in the mid on Legion. Instead, they chose to defend top. They lost the tower anyway. They couldn't even deny it. And then they didn't get a tower mid. So the decision-making from Hellborn absolutely saved their tower, stopped the Legion push, and basically made it a free engagement. And you can see them doing it again. So there's going to force a Glacius rotation in the top lane because Magebane's just like, I'm going to push. In the bottom lane, we got Ophelia and Keeper grouping up. In the meantime, Legion are trying to take this tier 2 in mid, but they're doing it rather passively.
This is exactly what I just commented like 1 minute ago.
Right.
I think the Hellborn is playing really well. I can't think of anything they're doing wrong, so props to them.
And this is a harder lineup to execute. I think there isn't too much doubt about that. I mean, as much as we want to say easy, difficult, this is not necessarily the simplest thing to do. I think on the Hellborn team, you got to be really careful because if Magebane dies, that's a problem. Rotations in general aren't good.
If you get provoked into getting a team fight, that could also be dangerous.
Right. Like, it's 27 minutes in. We haven't seen a single 5v5 engagement.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's because of Legion playing bad or if that's because Hellborn is playing bad.
I think it's both. I think
probably.
Legion aren't really forcing them. They're not pressuring base. They're not saying, look, either you fight us or you lose Rex. They're not really doing that. And Hellborn are dodging like madmen.
Well, it's basically to the point where they have to make that kind of decision, like go base or something, because this game is just slipping out of their hands. Magebane is getting crazy for them.
Yeah, 617 GPM, and Nox has gone up to 500 gold per minute. We also have Magnus at 400 GPM, about 300 GPM on both Tempest and Keeper, so it's not like the farm is bad. I mean, you look at the gold lead right now, and it's in favor of the Hellborn, but only slightly. Still, you'd have imagined...
Magebane with the Geo and Shrunken is so good versus a Keeper, so it's like endgame team fight is gonna favor Hellborn.
Depends.
Basically, their only damage against a Shrunken head is Moon Queen. That's it.
That's true. I'm a little bit more concerned about the execution on the Hellborn side. Maybe we'll pick up a token on the Magebane here as well, but they obviously have 2 superior magic cancels for the Tempest ultimate. But if for whatever reason they can lock Magebane down, he's not all that tanky. So they will have, even if they catch him with a Shrunken Head, it's very possible they'll have the lockdown to kill him. And Magebane is like 90% of their damage at this point. I mean, nobody else.
Well, they actually have a lot of levels on the other heroes as well, so I think they will actually do quite a bit of damage. Them as well, so.
That's fair. Kraken will hurt. I'm not a fan of Tundra. Oh, he's got puzzle box though. That's gonna happen. Didn't even notice, but yeah.
The tactic for Legion is definitely to kill Magebane first.
Yeah.
Okay, will they get Magnus here?
Yeah, seems very possible. He already used Lava Surge, and there's his Chandra Jump. Looks like Magnus is real dead.
Magebane is so strong with the Geobane, it's insane. Amazing.
Yep. He hits real hard, and man, Magnus all of a sudden didn't have a lot of mana.
Exactly.
I wonder what that was about. So, token again on this Mage Bane, and Tundra gonna have level 3 puzzle box, so Magma's dead. I would imagine the time to push is just about now.
Yeah, they might still respect the ultimate from Keeper and Tempest though.
Right.
Not sure. It's their call, I guess. I would probably go for a push and try to bait a buyback, but it's too late now.
And he's only got 12 seconds left from Resurrection. He's not going to be able to do that, but about 30 minutes in, been relatively passive. Just 8-7 hero kill advantage there for the guys on ChatroulleteboyZ. And only a slight gold lead as well, about 6k gold and 7.5k experience. So, I mean, for as much as we've been bagging on Ogre, they're not out of this game by any means.
No, they're farming good. Like they're spreading resources well, stacking forests and stuff. So that's good. Just as I said that he kills a creep inside the camp in the hard camp.
Just doing whatever he can to prove you wrong, huh? Well, Magma should hit level 16 here momentarily. He's still level 14 on both Keeper and Tempest. Yeah, there's Mag 16. And you look at the Hellborn side. Mage Bane, the only one with a level 3 ultimate. Rhapsody just hitting level 11 actually recently.
It's gonna be a wing bow here on Moon Queen as well. That's a good pickup.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be very good against Mage Bane because Mage Bane doesn't really want to savage Sage Mage.
I'm a big fan of new wing bow. And she's also got Symbol, so she's going to be difficult to kill, especially because when she pops a Symbol of Rage, she will be pretty easy to just start right-clicking and kill everything. Also has Geometer's Bane, so those glaives will be bouncing around everywhere, and has chosen not to go for a Shrunken Head, which, actually, I'm kind of okay with.
Yeah, me too. They have so much physical lockdown anyway,
Right.
so for the lockdown part, the Shrunken is not going to do much. So actually this tank build is way better.
And the abilities they have that are magical are superior magic. I mean, Kraken Ultimate and Thunder Ultimate, so it's not like a Shrunken Head's gonna...
And also
much for you.
the shards, the piercing shards is also mixed. The Shrunken doesn't remove it. Yeah, good call on the no Shrunken.
I agree. And with the extra item slot, Nullstone maybe? I don't know, I feel like she should get something defensive besides just the symbol.
The Tundra can just use his shoulder to deactivate it,
true.
and then no, it's so bad against him. So I'd rather see a big item like Enduro perhaps. Or Demonic.
Yeah, Demonic would be good. A lot of physical damage, especially from Mage Bane, so that'll slow him down and obviously increase the potency of her auto attacks. I'll probably look to finish up Wing Bow first.
Legion is playing very passive, but I guess they don't have a choice anymore.
Yeah, at this point, I think their best option is to... I mean, I think they've realized how far ahead of Moon Queen Mage Bane is, so they don't really want to take... They don't want to really pit their carry against the opposing teams. They're looking to get a little more support. Let's say Keeper the Forest went for a Storm Spirit.
They're probably realizing they will go all out on Moon Queen in these team fights, so trying to save her so she can get a symbol out before dying.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about not having enough Mage Bane lockdown.
I guess the
refresh.
refresher will be nice.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
He doesn't seem to have that much gold, so...
And Puzzle Box
Token is out
Minion.
now.
Yeah, and Glacial Downpour doing a lot actually. Clark, he killed the puzzle box. I was sitting there going, does he not realize that's gonna happen?
That was amazing.
Clark, man, come on.
That puzzle box.
This thing's sitting right next to you.
Oh, but they go from HP here. He's 60%? No.
The problem is 60%. He's still pretty damn tanky.
I guess. Well, they can use all their spells on him anyway, so it shouldn't be that much.
Yeah. And they do have Portal Key on both Kraken and not Kraken, but Keeper and Tempest, in addition to Magma's of course.
Yeah.
Well,
jumping Mageman there and keeping Keeper in the back for stopping the counter initiation would be pretty nice, I think.
Well, looks like that'll be it.
Again, they're choosing to play passive. Maybe they're not feeling confident.
Both sides, really. It's not like the Hellborn have been all that aggressive either. Besides that one push, we're like, hey, we got a DD run on Mage Bane and a token still, so let's go kill a tower. But after both of those things went away, they're like, don't want to fight anymore.
It was a bit questionable to push that late with the token.
Yeah, it's interesting. They didn't really get too much use out of it. You know, obviously, the best thing to do is spend a couple of minutes farming because you have relatively safe farm, and then go get something out of it. And they did, but not all that much.
I got the base tower, it's not much. Okay, they're gonna go into forest now.
Yeah. Invis Glacius with an I.
He's gonna turn back pretty quick.
Yeah. And we'll drop a word of sight. I see the oath. Oh.
Magnus is looking for a pickup bottom, but I'm not sure about that.
I mean, there's a Thunderbird that says...
Yeah.
I think they might see him. I don't know.
Triple stacks are a good job by Rhapsody. I don't think Mage Bane used his Whispering Hand before upgrading it, which is pretty weird.
Yeah.
It's questionable.
Well, Geobane Illusion's gonna do some damage to the racks, but they'll be able to get rid of that pretty easily.
Not much happening. They're killing Ancients.
Both sides are just like, let's see how passive I can possibly make this game.
Yeah. I like the cheap stick on Ophelia. It's so good versus this Moon Queen. It's gonna be awesome.
And she's gonna have no cancel rule for it, so.
Archie Tiger is playing this game very well. No deaths. Doesn't steal farm. It's really well played.
No doubt. And both of these teams now are playing smart. I'll give them credit for that, but I wouldn't hate it if they were just like, let's go kill each other. I know, it's not the most interesting game to watch in the world, which is, I mean, this is winner bracket semifinals, so this is a fairly big deal. It's 2 steps away from Diamond Division, and I mean, you win here, you win the winners bracket finals, you're in Diamond. So
yeah, I can totally see why they'd be both playing passive and a bit scared.
And Magnus, yeah, you're in trouble. Mage Bane gonna find him out, but he's got some pretty solid jukes, and he's got PK in 2 seconds, so it looks like he'll be fine. So nice.
That's pretty funny. He wanted to use the Steam Bat and then PK for the Invis or something, but he took damage from Mage Bane's passive, so he got cooldown on his PK again. Pretty fun. It's kind of hard to think about that spell. You don't think about it that often.
You really don't.
And suddenly you use your ultimate and you just die.
I've had stuff like that happen before. I've seen, my favorite are like the Witch Slayers that they shoot him in the face, but he's got all that magic armor from Flash, so he doesn't actually take all that much damage, and then they die because...
That's happened so many times. Although it happens mostly because I play Mage Bane, so I don't really play again that much.
Well, Hellborn are expanding their gold lead. I mean, it is getting larger and larger. It's very gradual, but it is increasing.
Yeah. Well, it was like 3k before when they got Conqueror, and now it's up to 10k, so...
And that was about 20 minutes ago. I think it was about 3k.
Or 10 minutes it should be, because Conqueror just respawned.
And that was like their first Conqueror. They were about 6k maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago, and they're about 10k now. This is going to be their 3rd Conqueror kill. And they're going to spot that out.
Yeah, they're going to go for the defend here, which could be good. Conqueror has low health.
Moon Queen's illusions helping to kill a little bit with those bounces. Conqueror is pretty low, and Mage Bane's kind of hanging out. Is he stuck on the cliff? Yeah. He's stuck on the cliff. That could have been really, really hilariously awful.
They have no tablet either, so...
Which is interesting. No tablet? I don't know. Anyway, Mage Bang can jump in with the Sheep Stick. There goes the Moon Queen ultimate. Not going to do too much, as actually she's going to be in a lot of trouble, as there goes the Rhapsody in the background doing all sorts to save the team. And nothing. Huge Tempest can't be cancelled, but there's no fall.
They have so much resources, and that was a bad keeper ultimate. That was very bad. So yeah, then.
Well, Magnus has bananas. Just saying.
Oh. The hell?
I must have killed Conwar, Magnus picked up the bananas, and then Mage Bang got the token because I guess nobody grabbed it.
Didn't remember, there was so much chaos going on.
Yeah, Hellborn got the Conwar kill, so that's going to be mid-racks. Because the other thing about that fight, the only heroes that have buyback are the ones that use their R buttons already. And therefore are useless. So that's the game.
Yeah, they played too passive in Legion too. They were too afraid to push early. They needed to make decisions more quickly.
Multiple of racks are down. Moon Queen's not going to be up for another 25 seconds.
Oh, this is going to be all racks. Moon Queen is not out until 20 seconds.
So, all of a sudden the game is over.
I was like, that was well played by Hellborn. That was top team play, like super good play.
Yeah, and I think definitely Shrek is Love made a couple of mistakes that were forgivable if they didn't keep making more mistakes, but then they kept making more mistakes. And the other thing is they didn't get any openings really. I mean, yeah, CZ played more or less a flawless game. Like they knew exactly what they wanted to make.
Yeah, they had to make the openings themselves. They couldn't rely on Hellborn giving them to them.
Right. And if you're going to play that well, then you deserve victory, and that's what the guys on ChatroulleteboyZ will pick up here. So, Game 1 in the books, and we'll be moving on very shortly with Game 2.